Ladies and gentlemen, g'day, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Economics Mate, and this is World of Tanks Blitz. And in today's video, we're going to be talking very briefly about a pro's tips to winning your battles and just becoming a better player in general. Now, I'm no pro by any stretch of the imagination. I don't claim to be some Unicum or Super Unicum player. But what I do very well is listen to those that are a lot better than me. And one particular person who is exactly that is a good friend of mine, Peter Cuke, aka one of the best players in Blitz currently. Him, Cora as well, Trapmelon, these guys are all pros at the game, and they play exceptionally well. And from what I observe and the way they play and the way obviously they interpret battles is very important. So these are my, I guess you could say, top 5 tips, or top 6 tips on what a pro would do in order to actually win battles. And starting at number 1 is, of course, just surviving the battle. Survive the battle. Survive the battle. It's very simple. And now, how do you survive the match? Well, use your hit points. Use your what do you call it? Your friendly tanks as a means of surviving, right? Just make sure that you take up positions that you are unable to be hit. Obviously, like go hold down, side scrape, angle, wiggle and jiggle, face hug, whatever it may be. Peek-a-boom, duck behind cover. Just try your best to survive, because if you survive, I guarantee you're going to make a difference in the match. Those people that tend to sort of just bleed their hit points really quickly, it's not a good look on you, and you will lose, or you will most likely end up losing the match because you have let your team down by being one tank down compared to the enemy team. I'll give you this example here, like this Tortoise, for instance. I do my best to get behind him, right? And I do something which is actually the next thing, which is keeping my eye on the minimap. As you can see, the minimap there is a heavy tank behind me. I'm keeping my eye on the minimap while I'm basically hitting that Tortoise. Now that the 50 TP over there, I know he's trying to shoot me, so I'm trying my best not to basically be in his rate of fire or be in his side of fire. This IS-7 I can see, and I've decided to duck behind these covers here, these containers, and shoot him. Obviously, he shoots me for a bigger alpha shot than I do to him, but still, nonetheless, I'm using the hard cover of this dead tank as well as these containers to basically protect me. So, again, this is my next point, which would be key positions. So this is a good position for this tank. This tank has a lowly armored lower plate, so you will be able to be penned basically all day long. The upper plate armor and the turret armor is where this tank is at its strongest, understandably so. As you can see, I'm trying my best to basically stay in cover and stay away from tanks that will delete my hit points. So the key ones here were survive the match, of course, by doing all these things. And by surviving the match, you need to obviously look at your minimap, which is very important. And of course, use key positions like I'm doing right here. I'm using these containers to side scrape and to hide myself from the tanks that are possibly behind me, and keeping this Cobra spotted so I can actually kill him, which I do. There you go. I'm on 1 kill and over 2,400 damage, just like that. Now, the next point I want to make is, of course, play your role. I'm playing my role as a pseudo-heavy tank, right? I've played my role very well. I've peek-a-boomed, I've side-scraped, I've angled, I've taken out targets that are important, I've depleted hit points of other enemy targets that I know are going to be crucial in order to win this game. For instance, like this Grille 15. I tried to shoot him with HE, unfortunately I hit his tracks, but I am going to shoot him again with another high explosive round, and it will do over 600 damage. As you're going to see in a bit, here we go, 1, 2, 3, boom, 625 damage. I played my role as a heavy tank that has a 130mm gun and used that big alpha to basically deplete most of his hit points. So he's a one-shot for our friendly team. Now, what's the next thing that's more important, of course, is, of course, fully equipping your tanks. If you buy tanks from the store, right, or if you've got enough credits, fully equip them. Fully equip, full provisions, full consumables, 9 equipment slots. Get yourself some really awesome, equipment, and fully equip your tank, because it makes all the difference in the world. And you're going to see the results of this match. 4,366 damage, 1 killed. I could have done a lot better if I had killed a few more players and probably would have gotten an ace. But nonetheless, I still topped the team in damage. And that's because I followed all of the simple rules. I survived the match and the battle by maintaining my hit points and peekabooming. I used the minimap to ensure that I kept an eye out on every single person out there, the enemy team, and knew that, okay, if I try to flank this guy here, I need to keep an eye on that heavy tank that's behind me so he doesn't get shots on my ass. I used key positions. I basically position my tank in areas where I can side scrape, go hold down, use the dead carcasses of tanks in order to hide my lower plate, and of course, peekaboom when necessary and go back into position. I played my role as a heavy tank, and I used my big alpha shots in order to make a difference. Let's actually go back to the tier 9 tank I was talking about, the Object 452K, which I will make a review on later on. As you can see, it's fully equipped. I have 9 equipment slots. Right? Fully equip your tank based on what you believe is going to be the best standpoint or the best sort of strategy that you have for this tank specifically. Each tank is played differently. Each tank is going to have different equipment slots. Equip your tank accordingly. Make sure you actually have full equipment and full provisions, full consumables. Make sure you're running camo. It's very, very important. These little things are very important indeed. And finally, the final point is, try to play tanks that are less dependent on your team, right? This tank is not entirely team dependent, right? You can very much carry on your own. You just need to know how to play this tank properly. A tank that would probably be very team dependent, if I'm, let's say, tier 9, would probably be something like the T95. T95, very team dependent. If your team is crap and they don't spot properly and they don't push, you're going to get ruined. And you're going to get killed. Simple as that. That's just the reality, right? Unfortunately, that's the reality. It's very team dependent, right? But something like a heavy tank or a medium tank like a T54, you can perform exceptionally well in it on your own because you're not entirely depending on your team. And that's what we mean when pros say, try to use tanks that are not entirely team dependent. And that's it, guys. That is my pro tips, I guess, on how to win battles and to become better at the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a short one. I've been asked about this many times. I thought I'd take the initiative and I'd do it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think and what kind of strategies you use in order to actually win your games. And if you have any other questions, let me know. For all you channel members out there, thank you so much. And I really appreciate all the hard work that you do. And thank you very much to Token for gifting so many people channel memberships. You're a bloody awesome bloke. Make sure you go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves, look after your friends and family, peace in the Middle East, and take care. And look after yourselves, of course, and stay safe on the battlefield. And assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you later, legends.